Aaron, congratulations. What's the mood of the team right now?
Mood's pretty good. Right now we're kind of taking a family day, not because we're not taking our game Monday seriously, but it's been a long week and we've got a couple of kids that are sore. I think their soreness is from walking these hills. If you haven't been here, it's hilly. Our beds are like we're sleeping on two pieces of cardboard stuck together. So Little League takes really great care of us, but we're in a kind of a dorm style room. So we decided to give the kids off, and so they're spending time with their parents, and they're kind of getting to do river cruise and all the other stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do around here, more than we expected. So we're just kind of taking a vacation day and letting people enjoy family.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad they're able to enjoy that. Now, they must have enjoyed the way that game turned out last night also. What was that scene like when you guys got back to the dormitory?
Oh, it was so I mean, they're 12, so the first thing they said on the field and left field, I talked to them, and they said, "Coach, midnight pizza, right?" So we ordered some late night pizza, and we sat outside and ate, and they had a blast, and they were hard to settle down, but it was hard for me. I don't have a hard time sleeping, and I stayed up till 1 o'clock, just kind of wired. 19,000 people, none of us have experienced anything remotely close to that, and so it was a real privilege to get to do that. But it was exhilarating. That every time Pennsylvania made it out early, there was just it was just kind of booming noise, and so we were glad to quiet them down in the fifth inning, and we did that. And it was very quiet the rest of the game, but it was what an honor. It's just a random draw to get to play them, but it turned out for our boys to be an experience.
Yeah, that had to have been intimidating to start it with the roaring crowd.
Yeah, it was. I think the first couple innings, our boys were a little bit shell-shocked. There was some emotions. They got a 2-0 lead. We've only been down really twice, and that was 1 and 3 runs, and so it happened early. They hit the ball. It started out really well, and so I think once the boys got settled into the game and we shut them down a couple of innings, and then we got the 2 runs in the third, I think they really recovered well and showed some grit. I mean, again, we've been down, and every time we've gotten down, we've battled back, usually pretty quickly, and so it was a hard moment for them. It was hard for me. I kept telling them, don't look at the stands, and I walk out there to hit fungo before the game, and I'm staring in the outfield, right? So it's hard not to.
Yeah, for sure. And there were some strange calls in that game. The one kid from Pennsylvania goes to bunt, and then he winds up getting hit, and that was strange. I thought that would have been a strike because he tried to hit it, and then there was a play at home plate where you were trying to tag their player out. He ran out of the baseline finally, but then it looked like he was safe, and then the umpire called him out. What were the explanations on those?
Well, the bunt was a kind of a bizarre explanation. I asked for them to cite a rule. They said that that just having the bat out didn't equal an offering, but we thought in the video that he did try to, even if he was defensively trying to hit the ball, he offered the baseball. It doesn't matter. I mean, the reality is the pitch was, Corey Kahn hadn't probably missed a pitch by that much all season, way inside, but he bunted. And so I asked the umpire to cite the rule, and he couldn't. I had a couple of friends tell me they cut my mic. I mean, I wasn't that angry, but at the end of the day, there was a wrong call. And I've had countless friends at home, our high school baseball coach at Barry Christian, texting saying, "Hey, he definitely bunted." So I think the only people that saw it that thought it was not a bunt were the 4 umpires on the field, and it wasn't reviewable. We weren't going to review it anyway at the time. The play at the plate was really interesting because he really came out of the baseline. I think they ultimately called him out because he slid head first, which he did slide, and it was not a full run slide head first, but he kind of danced around the whole skirt of the plate. And at some point, you can't just dance around till you miss them. And so our catcher, Ford Hill, tried to tag him a couple of times, and he was elusive, but I believe he was out. The best explanation I got is he went in head first. So even if he didn't tag him, it didn't matter. I mean, you just can't run around the world to get to home plate. So it seemed like what he was trying to do. He did a good job of it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so looking ahead, you said you're not scouting who's going to win this game later on. You're going to have the kids just have a good time today. But I know you'll dive into some game video before Monday.
Yeah, I'll probably come. You know, we'll be a couple innings late. We've got some dinner plans, but we'll come and watch. The kids probably won't. Some of them will want to come back. But yeah, we'll be real interested to see who wins. You know, everybody thinks it's Hawaii, but these teams up here are good. I'm not, you know, we don't pencil ourselves or anybody in. You got to go win the game. And so, you know, we're anxious to see who wins, and so we can really dig in. We will. Game tape, game changer, all the other stuff that we'll do. You'd be surprised how much we do, but we do a lot. And so we'll be getting ready to do that here pretty soon.
Yeah, the volunteer coaching has turned into a time-consuming ordeal, right? So the attitude right now has to be fantastic for everyone involved up there.
Yeah, I think the attitude right now, you know, that comeback win last night, doing it in front of that crowd. You know, if we're fortunate to keep advancing and the crowds get potentially even bigger than that, I mean, our boys, at this point, you know, if you play a 7 o'clock game, the difference between 20 and 30,000 when it's dark, I mean, we can't really see the hill as much once it gets dark. And I don't think at any point it's going to be any big deal for our boys. I mean, they played last night, they got over it. So the attitude is great. I know they'll be fired up to play, to practice tomorrow and the next couple of days. And just, they know what's ahead. You know, it's a big game. And if we win that, you got to win one more game to get in the U.S. Championship. And so, you know, no matter what happens, we feel like we got a chance to get there. So we're just going to keep fighting. And our boys are, I mean, they're having the time of their life.
That's awesome. That's what I like to hear. Thanks, Aaron, so much for your time. Go get them.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Have a great one.
Okay, you too.
Okay.